is expansion. How is this principle? The contraction and expansion. Let me give an example. Miaka yetu, siku hizi TV ziko all over mpaka kwa kanisa. Lakini in our time, kama ulikuwa umefanikiwa kuwa na TV, one, ilikuwa ya black and white. Na sio nyumba nyingi zilikuwa na black and white TV. Number 2, ilikuwa inafunguliwa saa 11 jioni. Kenya Broadcasting, Voice of Kenya, VOK. Alafu inafungwa kama saa 6 hivi. Mnakaa bila TV, siku hizi zimejaa. If you want to watch a movie, do you go anywhere? Unaangalia movie ukiwa wapi? Zingine una download, zingine unaenda una hizi video whatever, shops, you lease, you bring it home, isn't it? Why do you think we have Kenya Cinema, Odeon Cinema, Nairobi Cinema, hizo ambazo zimechukuliwa na makanisa? It's because we used to go there and watch movies. Hakukuwa na mamovie nyumbani, zilikuwa unaenda kwa movie theater. Sasa kwa movie theater kulikuwa na tuduka. Tunauza popcorns, coffee, tea and sweet drinks. When you take popcorn ukiingia kwa hiyo theater, ama kwako saa hii, ama hata ukipatia watoto wakule popcorn, what will happen after that? Wataitisha nini? Kwa nini? It's because popcorn ziko na chumvi and salt and almost all animal products are contracting foods. Salt and almost all animal products are contracting foods. And that is why ukienda ukule nyama wala tunakula, the next thing that the body will ask for is what? If not water, soda, something sweet. Kwa nini? For the body to balance itself. When you give it something contracting, inakuitisha something ya kufanya nini? Ya kuexpand. Ni lazima mwili balance. And for it to balance itself, inakuitisha kile ambacho kimekosekana. So if we give our body something contracting, the next minute itakuitisha something expanding. Certain foods such as salt, meat, poultry make body to contract. Something else ambayo hukuli, stress. When you are stressed, 90% of the times your body will ask for something sweet. Na ndio unaona most people when they have stress wanakula sana, and they don't eat just any food. They either take something sweet, a sweet drink, or a sweet food to make the body expand. That is what we call nature. Our bodies are fearfully and wonderfully made. The body must make an effort to balance itself. And it is important to balance the two. We don't take things that are either too contracting or too expanding. Otherwise, our bodies will go on extra drive. Now, when you combine the two complementary foods, or for the case of stress, how do you counter stress? Is making an effort in your mind to become joyful, to become happy. When you are happy, the body is automatically on an expanding mode. And by the way, when our bodies become too contracted, it is a recipe for diseases. Most of the diseases that we suffer from, name it, cancer, diabetes, HIV, AIDS, they all are derived from overly contracted bodies. When our bodies have balanced, chances of you having a disease are minimal. I won't say they are not there, because we live in a world that is full of sin. And as we know, before sin, kulikuwa na magonjwa. Hakukuwa na magonjwa because God had given an optimal diet. Akapeana seeds and fruits. Is that what God gave? So they were complementing each other to make the body balanced. But after sin, remember, there was no cooking in Eden. I'm not saying that we go out there and eat all raw foods. No. Because after sin, we introduced fire. We introduced cooking. So, because of sin, that is why we are having diseases. Now, there is also something that we call Ki. Ki. All this is Chinese. Ki, Ki. And Ki is the life force within our bodies. Ki is the life force within our bodies. And our bodies have energy. But we don't release this energy, definitely it has to look for a place to go. Sawa. When it's looking for a place to go, and you're not giving it the room for it to move, we must become sick. We have to make our bodies have that expanding energy to release so that it can be able to work at its optimum. Let us look at salt, because that's what I started with. The salt we use in our kitchens. Semi ni mbaya, ati semi ni nzuri. Actually, my auntie alienda hospitali and she was prescribed atumi acha hizo chumvi zingine which are good, the ones we know that are good. Akaambiwa, unajua hii table salt kula kabisa, hata ukiweza koroga kwa maji kunywa, because there is a component that was missing in her body, and it's only this salt that can give. But do you know that salt is so refined that it has very few components that are beneficial to your body? They have minimum, I think they have only 2 components. Because tukivuna chumvi magadi, what usually happens is that they make this easy VO plus other things that they make with the salt. Whatever remains is what they add iodine, and it is sold in shops as table salt. How come chumvi unaweza nunua chumvi ya shilingi 5 ama shilingi 10? Is that telling you something? It is a pointer that this thing is not really complete. And my brothers and sisters, I would urge you, as much as chumvi is contracting, we need it in our diet. But which salt should we use? We use the salt that has maximum benefits. Ya kwanza, I'll just mention 2, is Himalayan salt. Okay, most people call it pink, but it's not a must that it must be pink, because it depends on the age of the salt and the rock that it was mined from. Actually, if you look at that rock of the Himalayan, utaona iko na different shades. Kuna ingine which is very dark pink, kuna ingine which is light pink, na kuna ingine which is almost clear. So let's just label it Himalayan salt or sea salt. These 2 salts, they have the minerals that we require in our bodies. Unless a time comes that it is so extreme that it has to be prescribed by a doctor, let us make a habit of using this salt. Which is better? Us becoming sick and looking for money to go and source for assistance in India, or using some extra coins to prevent the disease? Which is easier? Prevention is better than cure. Because when you are looking for a cure, you might go there thinking you are going for a cure, you come back in a coffin. Simply because we were unable to spend a few extra coins to buy the proper components. The salts that we use, the table salt, we know it lacks the minerals that our bodies need for them to balance each other. And human beings, we are animals who are born contracted. Even tiny babies, when they are born contracted. And that is why they are so happy when they take the mother's milk, which is very sugary. So, since they are contracted small beings, when they take the mother's milk, they become balanced. And that's exactly what us, even adults, should use. We have natural sweeteners, which we can use, that are not going to put our bodies in an extra expanding mode. And one of them, the sweetener, is stevia. Stevia is derived from leaves. And it's a component that me have used. And one bottle of stevia. Si mnajua kale tunasema ni sio kale kachupa kadogo kabisa, ile ya half kg. That stevia kama imejaa hapo, a family of 5 unaweza tumia almost for a whole year. Because unaweka kadogo sana na kanatoshea sufuria mzima. You use it minimal and it has no added calories. So, Mungu atusaidie so that we put our bodies in neither too expanding mode or too contracting mode. Let us balance the two by the foods that we eat. Tutakuja kwa hizo zingine as they will unfold as we continue moving. Let us go to the next principle of acid and alkaline. As we all know, there is something that we call acid rain. Na hawa wazungu watatuonyesha maneno ambayo ya kushangaza. There's a time we were in Naivasha for a camp meeting, and out of nowhere, mvua iligongana, and because the hall we were in was like this, iligongana to an extent that hatukuwa tunasikizana. It was so intense. And after about 15-20 minutes, ikaisha na ikaisha na ikaisha. Because we were in a school, the manager akatuambia that rain, hata sisi tulianza kujijazia, that rain was not normal. You know what they do? By the way, the wheat we eat here in Kenya, si wheat mzuri, lakini we have no alternative. Some of these whites, they have very big farms in Narok and those areas of Rift Valley. Zangano mingi. When they realize that the ngano is not dry and the rain season is almost, they spray it with wanatumia dawa to dry it faster. Hiyo dawa mimi na wewe tukinunua unga si tunaikula. So ngano, when they spray and then they do what we call seeding the clouds. They spray a chemical into the clouds so that hazifiki huko the time that this cloud, if we don't make it rain here, itaenda kunyoshea ngano yetu. So we'll need more chemicals to make it dry. Itaharibu soko yetu. So they sit the cloud here, ndio inyeshe hapa, ndio isifikie ngano. And when we are doing that, that rain is called acid rain. If it has been brought by an acid reaction, what will it do to the soil? Zimeharibu. Even us, we do something similar to our bodies, knowingly or unknowingly. And our bodies become sick when they are over toxic, when they have a lot of acid. What I know for sure is that cancer is caused ambaye hata alikuwa amefunikiwa, ameweka kauganini kashuka, amekufa akiwa hapa Mpisha, and he's still alive. He's a retired pastor. Mara ya kwanza akatibiwa, arudi nyumbani. Unfortunately, when he felt he has fully recovered, I think akarudia kale kadayat alikuwa nakula. Remember, the cancer is still not 100% eliminated, lakini yeye anajisikia ako nini? Ako energetic. Mimi nilimuona kama he was almost going. When he went back to that diet, alirudi hospitali na ilibidi aongezwe some platelets. And 1 pint of platelets cost 50,000 plus. Akaongezwa. Sasa akaambiwa, please leave this diet, leave these oils, and continue with this diet. He's back to normal. He has leukemia, but his blood count is increasing by the day. So these diseases, as long as we are making our bodies less acidic, we make them alkaline, God is going to remove the diseases of Egypt from our bodies. Amen? How are we aware that cooked foods are acidic and raw foods are alkaline? Tunatengeneza kachumbari wakati gani? Kachumbari mara nyingi tunatengeneza wakati gani? Nyama choma, na wakati gani ingine? Tukiwa na wageni, si ndio? Kwa nini tutatengenezea mtu ambaye ni mpita njia na anakuja kwako anaenda? Na we go out of our way kumtengenezea raw foods, nice vegetables, nini na ni mtu anapitia. That is exactly whatever you are feeding this guest who is coming is exactly what we should be eating per day. Yes. Let me give you another example. Unanunua kwako mami usuga managu ya kwako. Unapika mangapi ya pesa ngapi approximately? Managu kwako ya ugali, ya ukula ugali. Ya so. Haya, anakulanga managu ya so. Kwa nini? Anakatakata. Akiweka kwa jiko, anafanya nini? Ana shrink. Try eating that managu kama haujaipika. Utanunua ya 50 bob. Na mtashiba na mbakishe. Believe you me. Kuja kesho. We teach you how. Kuja kesho. Uikule kama hujapika. Na utaniambia kama ni kali ama ni tamu. Managu, osuga, managu. Hujapika. That's exactly what I'm saying. Eat it raw. It is making your body alkaline. So, combine it with ugali, which is acidic, and you are good to go. You have balanced your body. As simple as that. See, it's not rocket science. No. It is us ladies who are mothering our spouses and children. taking them to an early grave. Sisi wakina mama, we are the warogi in our kitchens. Ati niongeza volume. Tuache kuroga familia zetu na tuwapatie afya. And as pastor has said, the diseases of Egypt will go. They will go. Lakini tukiendelea kuwapea, knowledge is passed from one generation to another, from one region to another. Labda hatukujua. Our parents knew that wasikaanga chakula. When I was growing up, we used to eat a lot of boiled foods without oil. Nyingi. And ukipikia mtoto mdogo, umemzaa huyu akiwa mdogo, ulikuwa unampatia chakula gani? Umeweka mafuta, umekaanga, si ndio? Kwa nini unachemsha? Kwa nini unachemsha? Na wewe nikikupatia hiyo si utakataa kukula. Kwa nini? Na kwa nini unapatia mtoto? It's because of the system. Your body. Is it adaptable or is it adaptive to that external oil? Somebody will talk about oils and we'll see whether us ladies are continuing kuroga watu wetu na mafuta ama hapana. Because actually we are the ones who are killing ourselves and you people. Sisi wenyewe tu, because of not practicing and maybe because of not knowing. Acidity, our bodies are basically, the pH is about 7.4. Our pH is at 7. It should be 7. Because our blood acidity is 7.4. Kwa hivyo isizidi 7. And the only way we can be able to make it balanced is to combine whatever we are eating, which is cooked, with uncooked foods. All the time. Tusingoje mgeni akuje, ndio tutengeneze nini? Raw vegetables. Let it be a habit in our own homes, in our own kitchens. All the time. And we will realize that some diseases that zikikushika, because as I said, we are in the world of sin. We fell into sin. And it's difficult to prevent some things from happening. Lakini utaona kwamba ikikushika, whatever disease you have, homa, whichever, itatoka kwa mwili haraka. But once your body is too acidic, it will be an uphill task to bring it down to alkaline level for you to become healed. And when it's too acidic, ugonjwa utakaa kwa mwili sana. So, acidic body leads to so many diseases, including chronic fatigue, HIV, AIDS, arthritis, allergies, plus and so many other diseases that are brought by acidic bodies. Let us try our best to make our bodies alkaline by eating alkaline foods such as land vegetables kama sukuma, hizo nimesema. By the way, hata sukuma unakula mbichi, managu mbichi, spinach mbichi, so many leafy vegetables, you eat them mbichi. Then there are ocean vegetables like tunaita seaweed. There is seaweed. Those are ocean vegetables. Then there are, of course, eat the good quality salt, not hizo zingine. Because when your minerals and vitamins are balanced, of course, your body stops becoming acidic. And these salts have the capacity to balance because of the components that they have in them. Then there are herbs and herbal teas. Herbal teas, kuna rosemary, kuna hibiscus. There are so many herbal teas. Then there are seeds, but with one caveat, one exception, which is sesame. And then, to crown it all, take good water. Sisi wakazi wa Nairobi. Wakazi wa wapi? tunarogwa kila siku na maji every day, hata mimi naikunywa because in the office sina kitu ya kufilter maji, kwa hivyo mimi nakunywa maji ya Kanjo ambayo imekuja na mifereji. But do you know that water is highly chlorinated, imewekwa sijui nini, some funny things at to make it clean and sparkling. Jaribu kuweka hayo maji kwa mimea yako na niambia kama itakauka ama itathrive. Inakauka. Na kama inakausha mimea, na wewe inakufanya nini kwa mwili? It is drying you up, drying me up. Let us look for ways of getting good, healthy water. If you can't get it kwa kisima, by the way, you know, hata hizi maji which we are so proud of, hii maji ya chupa, hii maji tunapeanga hata guests, tunawapea hata hiyo. Get a water purifier. Tainunua tu mara moja. Just do a saving. Buy it once. Purify your water. Drink it. Mimi pale naishi kuna maji ya kisima. Ile kisima. Watu wanashinda wakiniuliza, "Si maji iko na chumvi?" Yeah, one thing, mimi nimezoea hiyo chumvi. I don't care. Hii maji mnasema maji ya Kanjo, I would rather take this one, I boil or I treat it the way I know, badala ya kunywa nini? Hiyo ya Kanjo mnashinda mkisema ni tamu. Try giving it to your plants. Taniambia ni nini itafanya. So, let us drink good, healthy, living water. Other things that are alkaline forming are lemons, limes, cranberries, and black currants. They are alkaline. There is also apple cider vinegar. Ikifika ukikunywa unasikia ni kali, lakini ikifika kwa tumbo it becomes alkaline. Alafu kuna fermented things. Kuna things fermented. Kuna uji ya Wameru wa Kirinyaga ambayo haijapikwa. When you cook uji, it kills the good bacteria that are helpful to your stomach. Lakini ukikunywa vile Wameru na wa Kirinyaga wanaipika, inakuanga ni kama iko kali, but that is the best. Alafu kuna maziwa ingine Amaro na Nubakisi. Murusik wakale. Murusik mzuri. Alafu kuna ingine tunaita kefir. Wengine mnashasikia kefir? Kuna yogurt, kuna mala. Lakini yogurt and mala kuna components ambazo haina, lakini ukikosa kitu kingine chochote, mala is better than yogurt. You can take mala iko juu ya yogurt. So, let us learn to take fermented drinks and vegetables, if you know how to ferment vegetables, because those bacteria are very good for our stomachs and for our digestion. They may help make the body alkaline. The next principle, because these principles you can take, I'm just doing a summary, because I can talk about these principles for a whole month or for a whole week, a principle per day. I'm just doing a summary on each. The principle number 3 is a principle of uniqueness. And as we know, mimi na yeye, see, we are ladies. But are we exactly the same? Do we talk the same? We are women, but we are different. Ninyi ni wanaume, lakini you are different. Sindio? Even your mannerisms, the same with even the plant and the animal kingdom. And the way your body may behave to something that you take might be different from the way mine will behave from taking a similar thing. Jana tulikuwa pahali. Acho tulikuwa mazishi, tukala. Tukaja nyumbani and we ate. Mimi sijui ni nini alikula ikamharibikia, na tulikuwa na yeye. Na mimi si niko hapa na niko sawa. Because we are unique. We are fearfully and wonderfully made. All of us are different. The same thing with the plants and the foods we eat. Kuna maharagwe, kuna mwetemania, kuna ile tunaita yellow bean, Kuna gani ingine? All those things. Kuna njahe, kuna mbaazi, all those are legumes. Kuna kamande, nini. We call them, they are protein foods. But are they the same? Do they taste the same? It's similar with us. By the way, those legumes, you should not be in a habit of combining them. Why? Because some of them, though they are from the same kingdom, will not rhyme. They are not going to rhyme. The component in this one, kuna ingine ambayo itaharibikiana na hii ingine. And when we come to the combining of foods, if you are eating this jahe today, tafadhali kesho kula wedamania. Siku hiyo ingine kula mbaazi. The next day eat kamande. Hivyo. You will have derived maximum benefits from each of those protein foods. If today you have taken managu, kesho kula spinach, kesho kutwa kula cabbage, the next day kula majani ya beetroot. Nani ashawahi kula majani ya beetroot? Majani ya beetroot shakula? How is it? A bit bitter, but do you know it has a lot of health benefits? It is combining the benefits of beetroot and the leafy vegetable. So it has maximum benefits. Let me give you a tip. Wale ambao mnatumianga beetroot, kata pale juu. Kate pale juu. Usitupe, enda uweke kwa mchanga. Utapata beetroot ambayo iko na makalio the leaves za kutumia as vegetables. Don't ever throw away those cuttings za beetroot. Kina mama mnanisikia? Weka kwa mchanga. Lakini sasa na hii maji ya Nairobi itamea kweli? It grows and gives you vegetables. Sio lazima ushinde ukienda soko kununua vegetable. Kama uko na beetroots kama 10 hapo kwako, unaenda ukichuna moja. Na tumesema hakuna kupika, si ndio? So they are enough for supper. Sawa. Yes. Okay, there is a lot of conflicting information in regard to what we know. But when we continue doing experiments, I usually like giving examples with myself. I'm not saying hata mimi nimefika. Hata mimi naangukanga mtihani so many times. But there is something that I've come to learn. That it is what you cook and what you eat that gives you good health. And I give an example with my husband here. Sisemi tumefikia. But I can attest that I almost killed him. Mimi mwenyewe through the sufuria. Akona shida. Wale watu ambao mmekuwa close na yeye, you know that he does not eat anything just like that. Hata tunaweza enda pahali, kuna mtu aliniambia, you know your husband is very choosy. But I usually make a point of carrying food. Almost 100% apart from when I'm coming here. Hallelujah. Hapa najua hata kosa chakula. Somehow atakula. Something that he eats and he can do. Anaweza kula. When through the sufuria, a lot of oil, even the good oil on food will bring indigestion. Haijalishi ni mafuta gani umetumia. And here it's when it's combining kitunguu and heat. You've created a poison. That's exactly what I was doing. Yes. These days, in my house, almost 80% of foods hainanga mafuta na huwezi jua. Doesn't have. Napika hivyo. Na unakula tu vizuri sana. And you won't know that it doesn't have oil. Eh? Sorry? How do I do that? Come tomorrow. Make a point of being there tomorrow. We will do this practically. And you will see kwanza ni ninyi mtafanya tukiwa na ninyi. We will do it together. And we will cook and we will eat. Na mtaniambia kama ni tamu au sio tamu. Sio lazima uweke chakula mafuta ndio ikue nini? Ikue palatable. So when I started removing a lot of oils from my foods, his health started improving. When he came here last, with the people who know him, hakuwa anatembea hivi. Actually, Elder Bosire alimuona kamuliza, what happened? Did you have an accident? He came limping, si ndio? He was very sick. For 3 months, hakutoka kwa nyumba. 3. Na hakuenda hospitali. Natural things. They work. The only thing is that they take time. Na sisi tunataka kitu ambayo inakuja microwave. Si ndio? Whatever I'm teaching is not something that is zingine you can implement now. But some of them they come gradually. It is pole. Lakini zingine you can do it now. And you'll succeed. Ask Elder Maina and his wife. They know. They have tried. Ndio unasikia ananiambia weka volume. Because they have tried and it's working in their house. So it's something that you can be able to nini. So even the uniqueness applies to our health. Whatever we are going through is unique to ourselves. And because we know that we are fearfully and wonderfully made, and we are unique, we can be able to use these principles in our unique status and bring almost optimum health to ourselves and to our families. It might be hard. The goodness is, I believe that mi naona ni kama we are at the ratio of male female 50-50. So I believe some of us here tutaenda nyumbani tukiwa sisi wawili na tukubaliane kwamba tutaanza hii kitu. Yule ambaye hauko na mtu wako hapa, ukienda anaweza ona ni kama you are starting a revolution in the house. But start with yourself. Start with yourself. Sio unataka uwapikie madagu. Wapikie, tengeneza yako kidogo. Wakitaka kuonja, waonjeshe. And the more they want yours, the more you go increasing the ratio. Si ndio? So you start pole until you reach the peak. The kilele chake. That is the principle of uniqueness. Uniqueness tumemaliza na tunaona you can be able to achieve it. The next principle is the principle of cleansing. Wamama oye! Oye! Kwa nini nimesema hivyo? It's because we outlive these men. Why do we outlive the men? Our God, in his own wisdom, gave us the capacity to cleanse. When we have our monthly menses, our bodies shed things that the body does not require. So the body cleanses itself through our menses. Hiyo ni ya kwanza. Kuzani, is it something that when you go there you feel very nice? Lakini ukimaliza you hold that bundle of joy. That process ambayo is not very interesting. Wengine hata mnaenda huko mnatusi madaktari, tunatusi waume zetu. Ni kama ni mtu alikwambia kwa cha nguvu. But process of childbirth inatoka na vitu mingi sana that help cleanse the female body. And research has shown that is what makes us outlive men. Because our bodies naturally, before we reach our menopause, it keeps on disposing the unwanted things from the body. That is why I say, wamama, yeah. Because God in his own wisdom, hatujui kwa nini alifanya hivyo, lakini alifanya mili yetu ifanye nini? Ikue ya kujiosha. Now, all of us, we suffer from some diseases. Sindio? And whatever is going around now, ni homa. Do you know homa and colds and flus are one way of cleansing the body? Through that mucus ambayo inatoka, the body is trying to cleanse itself of that foreign substance ambayo imeingia. Woe unto me, woe unto you, when you use drugs to suppress. There are natural remedies that we can use. Si kuna ndimu na nini, ndimu, kuna hizo ginger, whatever. They may take time to heal. But we are helping the body to cleanse itself of that virus. When we take the external medicine, hii ya wazungu, and I don't have nothing against the wazungu, but it's because they always try to kill us, and especially the African race. And na sina nini nikisema hivyo, I'm saying that because I know that's what they do. Because Africa is full of good things that they want to come and use. Tukitumia hizo dawa zao, we don't let the body finish its cleansing purpose. Tunafungia, and that virus inakaa kwa mwili ikiwa kind of dormant. Haijakufa. Wewe unafikiri umepona, lakini hujapona. The virus is dormant in your body, in my body. So when another one comes, wanatiana nguvu. You are still using drug to suppress, ndio? Wanaendelea kutiana nguvu. Another third one comes, you use drugs, you suppress it. Now sasa si wamekuwa watatu. Watakapo lipuka, I'm telling you, you'll be having something which you cannot even explain. Because that now they are powerful, you'll have a serious and major disease that requires more serious intervention. Our bodies are naturally cleansing themselves through urine, through tears. Kitu kikiingia kwa macho, what does the eye do? Sinajaribu kuyosha through the tears. That is a way of cleansing. Our bodies are so unique that they are self-cleansing. We have the jasho. We have jasho, we have urine, we have makamasi, we have when we cough, when you have a cold. So tunatoa hiyo. All those are ways of cleansing ourselves. Let us do our best to assist the body to cleanse itself through natural remedies until we reach a stage where nasioni sana if you take these measures, we will not reach a stage where we'll need those external factors. I was so shocked here that our blood, juzi nimepimwa, mimi nimejipeleka hospitali na hata kuna mtu mwingine nilikuwa nimeambia, if our blood is taken, kila mtu hapa damu yake ipimwe na huna ugonjwa wowote, watapata something we call blood infection. 90% tutapatikana tuko na blood infection. Na sisi tuko sawa, wewe unajisikia uko sawa. Ni kwa nini? It's because we have some things in our bodies that the body has not cleansed. So, huyo mtu wa lab atapata nini? Atapata blood infection. Mimi nilipatikana na blood infection. Kuna mtu mwingine aliniambia, nimeenda hospitali nasikia I'm having fatigue, nikaambiwa niko na blood infection. Nikamwambia, ukienda hospitali wapime damu, they must find some blood infection. Our body is always on a constant mode of cleansing. And whatever will seem to be carrying that disease is the blood. So, what do? We should assist through the food we eat, mostly the leafy vegetables, the herbs that we are using. Dania is one good thing of cleansing. We should be friendly with danias. The greens are very good at cleansing, plus the red, such like carrots. Sawa. Let us assist our bodies to cleanse itself. Kudos to the ladies, because sisi yetu inakujanga tupende tusipende, lakini we should always assist the body to cleanse itself, so that Mungu ataondoa haya magonjwa ya nini? Ya misery from our midst. The next principle is the principle of food combining. Now, when we combine compatible foods, because there are some foods that are not compatible, and I'll give just one example. When we eat ugali is a what? Is a starch, isn't it? When we eat chapati is a what? Mchele. Alafu tuondokee mchele ya white tafadhali. I know kuna mtu alikuwa anapeana she was saying they were shunning buying pishori rice because that time it was costing 150 shillings. Saa hii, you know, brown rice has become cheaper than white rice, or they are at par. Sasa they are forced to buy a rice at 150 ile walikuwa natorokea huko, na hiyo hata sio pishori. It is the local hii mchele tu ya aina hii. Let us learn to take whole meal. What was I saying? That when you take a starch, please take it with vegetables. Usiongeze protein hapo. Don't add a protein. So it's starch and vegetables. When you are taking a protein, whichever protein, take it with vegetables. Tumeelewana? Kuna pahali nilisema hivi and I was almost stoned. Ati sasa mimi nikula maharagwe tu na vegetables nilale. Nikamuuliza shida iko wapi? Where is the problem? Yeye nataka maharagwe, madodo na mchele, and now maybe hata tusimamie hapo. Those are acid forming foods. They are both cooked. And the enzymes that are required to digest, unapatia tumbo yako, unasikia umeshiba for so long because the food has not been digested. When you don't digest the food, what happens? It ferments in your system. When it ferments in your system, that is a recipe for disease, 100% automatically. So, food combining, starch and vegetables, protein and vegetables, not protein, starch and vegetables. Hii maneno ya ati balanced diet. Take a protein in the morning. Protein in the morning and vegetables. Lunchtime, take a starch and vegetables. Have we balanced? Do we balance? Yes. You don't combine the three. Take them separately, but balance them during the day. That is through food combining. Starch, vegetables, peke yake. Protein, vegetables, peke yake. The next one, which is number 6, is the 80-20 principle. This one is very simple, because tumesoma mengi kuhusu chakula. 80% of your food should be vegetables. 20%, no, uncooked. Or let's call it vegetables, both cooked and uncooked. 20% should be the starch or the protein. 80% vegetables, sahani yako sehemu kubwa ikuwe 80% is what? Vegetables. 20% is either a protein or a starch. When we do that, 1, we will lose weight. Wale mnataka ku lose weight. Wale ambao mko 1 GB, you will maintain the 1 GB. lakini utaona you have more energy and more vigor to do things. But chances are when you maintain that, you will achieve your optimum weight at no big cost, na utakaa hapo na utadumu hapo. Last but not least, the principle of step by step. Hii nilikuwa nimeguzia. These things you cannot rush them. It is step by step. Just the way a rainy season is followed by another season in another season. Huwezi zaliwa na utembea hapo hapo, si ndio? Huwezi zaliwa na ucrawl. It goes step by step. So even for me, even for you, these principles, you take them step by step. Everything occurs in an orderly manner. The sun rises from the east, comes hapa juu mchana, alafu inafanya nini? Inatua. Ukiona jua limetokezea, alafu inatua. What do you think? Jesus is coming now. Ndio? Because it did not follow the step by step principle. So even in this diet, even in these 7 principles, let us do it step by step. Niliwaambia hata sisi hatukufika pale tumefika suddenly. But some things you can rush them. Others you take them gradually. Tuko pamoja? So let us learn to assist nature in the way that our bodies are going to work optimally. And by this, and I'll repeat that the diseases that the Egyptians suffered from, they will not get us. And when they get us, we have the remedies through the foods that we eat and through the combining that we do and through our uniqueness. May God bless us as we continue observing these 7 principles, and I know our God is faithful and is going to make it a reality. Let us all rise for a word of prayer. Let's pray. Our most gracious Heavenly Father, we come before you this afternoon, praising and glorifying your name. You've given us 7 principles that when we abide by them, the diseases that the Egyptians suffered from, we are going to prevent from our midst. May it be real, may it be workable, so that we'll be able to have optimum health to serve you in this world and in the world to come. Thank you because you love us, you understand us, and above all, it is through your divine intervention that we'll be able to do this. Thank you for being with us. Thank you for understanding us. And it's in Jesus' name I pray, trusting and believing. Amen.
Tabibu mkuu. Next. Tabibu mkuu huyu
Yesu mwenye huruma atuletaye faraja. Yesu Mwokozi wetu.
Imbeni malaika sifa za Bwana wetu, jina la pekee kwetu ni la Yesu Bwana. Tuamini na tuombe. Uliye juu, Mwenyezi Mungu, tunakushukuru kwa wakati huu. Umetulinda tangu asubuhi. Bwana, tumeona mkono wako. Tunasema ni asante na tunakuhitaji ukapate kuendelea kutuongoza kwa kuwa wewe ndiye tegemeo letu. Nihifadhi Sister Priscilla, umpe nguvu na hekima na maarifa ya kutosha ili anapozungumza nasi yawe maneno ambayo yanatoka kwako, na katika jina la Yesu Kristo tunaomba na kuamini.
Habari ya jioni. Nitaongea na sauti nono kidogo kwa sababu niko na kahoma kidogo. But before we continue, acha niwasumbue. Naomba tusimame. I have a new exercise. Nataka ile tulifanya, lakini safari hii breathe in, breathe out and complete the 5 vowels. Okay? Kuna kitu utarealize. When you are breathing out, you breathe out giving sound A. Okay? Then we finish A. We breathe in again. We hold. And then we produce which sound? A. You realize where the oxygen will visit is not where the A visits. Sawa sawa? Are you ready? Have you understood the instructions? Okay, let's begin. Breathe in. Out. Breathe in. I'm checking the lungs of some people here. I can tell they are sick. We go to the next vowel. Breathe in. How do you feel? Breathe in. Breathe in. Ooh. The next is who, isn't it? 1, 2, go. Good. You can sit. That breathing exercise, if you breathe the same vowel in a certain position, either you are squatting or you are seated, the way the body will take that oxygen will be different. Our next topic is hospitals. How many doctors do we have in the congregation? Hospitals.
If we have some physicians with us, I'm inviting you here. You help me take this lesson very fast. Where are they? Where are the nurses? Where are the doctors? Where are the lab technicians? Where are community health workers? Those are the people I'm looking for. If you are here, just come. You want to tell me SDA Kariobangi, pastor? So you must have come across one. If you don't come here, I'll request pastor to mention your name. Where are they? If you know you are being pointed by the elder, just come. You will not do a very difficult task here. They are not there. And why are they feeling this platform? Here comes one. Hey, you're frustrating my lesson. Okay. They have refused to come. Okay. Then let me turn to the congregation. What's a hospital? What's a hospital? Yeah? Hospitali ni nini? Hamjui hospitali ni nini? Nani amekuwa hospitali wiki iliyopita? Hii wiki inaisha leo. Nani alikuwa hospitali in the course of the week? Ni nyumba ya wagonjwa. A very good answer. Ni nyumba ya wagonjwa. Jina hospitali tukilitaja, nini chaja kwenye mawazo yako? Wagonjwa, si ni kweli? Tutembee hospitalini. Tukinapotembea hospitalini tunapitia wapi? Kuna nini kwa unapoingia hospitali? There must be a gate, isn't it? Let us just check a few things that we find in the hospital. Nani hapa washailazwa hospitali? Ushailazwa hospitali, usikuwe na wasiwasi. Ulikaa siku ngapi, elder? Ulikaa 2 weeks, si ni kweli? Wakati ulikuwa umelazwa huko ward, kuna watu walikufa ukiona? Walipelekwa chumba gani? Cha kuhifadhi maiti. Nini ingine inakuwa kwa hospitali? Kuna outpatient, isn't it? Yes, kuna sehemu ingine, kuna casualty. Pia kunakuwa na lab, si ni kweli? Kuna pharmacy, right? Pia kuna ICU. Pia kuna HDU. Pia huwa kunakuwa na kitchen, si ni kweli? Kuna washing bay, mahali manguo ya wagonjwa chafu inaenda kufanya nini? Kusafishwa. Pia kuna delivery room ya wamama, si ni kweli? Pia kunakuwa na cashier, mahali watu wanalipa nini? The fee. And then pia kuna nini gani ingine nimesahau? Kuna inpatient where the wards are, right? Nikubusheni kitu ingine tunaona tukivyeze tuko. Haya, wacha niulize. Yale mahospitali tuna attend siku ya leo, twaweza pata mafungu ya support kwa Biblia? The hospitals we go today, are they biblically supported? Yes or no? Unaogopa ni mkisema no, nitawauliza. Ni mkisema yes, nitawaambia mtoe fungu. Si ni kweli? Sasa mnakataa kujibu. Mchungaji, watu wako tayari na ile lesson ya hospitali. Are the hospital supported by the scriptures? Yes, they are supported. Do you remember the story of the Samaritan woman? Not the Samaritan man. Yes, he got who was injured. There was a gentleman who was injured, isn't it? He was a Christian or a Gentile? He was a Gentile. And who was this? Who was this good Samaritan? The one who was injured was a Gentile, and the one who carried him was also a Gentile. You are confusing me. The one who was beaten up was who? He was a Jew, isn't it? The one who came and carried this sick person to a hospitable place was a who? A Samaritan. Was a Jew or a Gentile? Darasa iko karibu kukua ngumu. Na nilikuwa nafikiria ni darasa rahisi. The one who carried this guy so that aitwe a good Samaritan. He was a Samaritan, isn't it? Was Samaritan Jews. They were a mixture, isn't it? Were they friends of the Jews? Thank you. Now we can continue. So, today we have hospitals, right? The most of the hospitals that we have, the information we get or what we go to do there, this Samaritan man, when he carried this guy to a hospitable place, it was a place where he was going to be attended until he heals, isn't it? Which things did this man carry that showed that he nursed this injured man before he arrived to the hospital? Do you know the components he used? Can I hear them very fast? Because if we go to reading, I want to exercise our brain. What was he carrying? There was oil. Next. There were some herbs, isn't it? Yes, and then the ointment that he applied, and then he took the guy to the what? To the hospital, isn't it? That place he was to be nursed. And then he left having paid something, okay? I'm taking this story to direct us to the hospitals that we have today. But before we go there, can someone read for me Matthew chapter 24 verse 24. I like the verse because it helps us to really wake up from our call, from our slumber. That verse says what? If you are there very fast, you can read because time is against us.
It says,
Yes.
For there shall arise false Christs and false prophets, and shall shew great signs and wonders, inasmuch that if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect.
False Christ. Not Christ, but Christ. Isn't it? Yes. There is also another word there. It talks about prophets, right? Do we know who are prophets very well? They are people who say things. They predict them and they happen, right? Yes. And will arise and show great signs and wonders to deceive, if possible, even the what? The elect. Let me tell you, many times when we read this particular verse, we only look at it from spiritual connotation. And this is where our ideology of our hospitality or our hospital gets confused from this particular one. We have two major hospitals. The teacher who was here before me has talked about the yin and the yang and asked when he was teaching contraction and expansion about the traditional what? Medicine. Even right now, we would talk of alternative medicine and we will talk of what? Traditional, or we call it alternative, or we call it contemporary, or would call it. It has so many it has so many what? Names. But I want to ask you, do you think when it comes to health of a human being, where it's mostly attended in the hospital, do you think in this current generation, leave the past generation, in the 21st what? Generation, do you think we are experiencing false prophets and false Christs invading the health fraternity or the health of our people? What does the book say in Deuteronomy chapter 23 verse 25? We want to get something here as we lay down the basis of our hospital, because we need to know hospitals are two. There are those that use the what? The nature, the natural things, and there are those that use the what? The other. Are you there?
Yes.
Go ahead and read.
Deuteronomy 23:25.
Wait, is it Deuteronomy? Yes, go ahead.
It says, when thou comest into the standing corn of the neighbor, then shall may pluck the ears within thy hand, but thou shalt not move sickle unto the neighbor's standing corn.
Okay, sorry. Go to Exodus 23 verse 25.
23:25.
Yes.
It says, and you shall serve the Lord your God,
You shall serve the Lord your God,
and he shall bless thy bread,
shall bless your bread
and water.
and water. Stop there first. Our topic today was eating and what? Eating and what? If you don't talk, I know you'll be sleeping in a little while. Our topic was, and then from the book of Exodus chapter 23 verse 25, we are getting a promise. And it is saying, so you shall serve the Lord your God, and he will bless your bread and your water. If you go to the hospital when you are very sick, what do they put in you first? Water. Isn't it? Wanaileta na drip. Unawekwa maji kabla waanze kuangalia ama uko na damu ya kutosha ama hauna. They bring water. So God is saying that when we do what? We serve him, he shall bless our bread and water. Continue.
It continues saying, I will take sickness away from the midst of thee.
I'll take sickness away from the midst of you, my people. We have hospitals. We have accepted we have hospitals. Do you think, because hospitals is where we go visiting when our bodies are feeling sick, do you think the devil has an interest in hospitals? Washiriki. Do you think the devil has an interest with the hospitals? Yes, very, very much. And so, if he has an interest with hospitals, is he interested by knowing that God has promised us that if we serve him, he is going to bless our water and our bread? Is he aware of the scripture? Okay, he is aware of the scripture. Let us visit what he does to Jesus Christ, isn't it? Leave alone Jesus. Let's go back to Eden a bit. He knew very well that this body has to eat, isn't it? And the teacher in the morning draws so close that eating and worship, you can't eat wrong and you worship right. True or false? You can't worship right and eat wrong. So, and because this is a being that lives, it's a being that has life. One of the things that we have to do, we have to be sustained our life by eating, okay? So the devil knew very well in the Garden of Eden where there were, teacher asked about rivers. Did you come across how many rivers were there? There were 4. And how many trees for food were there? There were trees, isn't it? And the trees were meant for food, right? Not all the foods were meant for food. Go and study more and you will see. Rivers were there. And by the way, water was more than the food they were told to eat. Even right now, your body, the water is more than the matter. Right? Yes. And so the devil is so much interested with what we eat, because if we eat wrong, we shall not worship God right. And so he goes ahead to make sure that me and you, we are eating wrong. And when we eat wrong, we will get sick. And when we get sick, we will go to hospitals. And if we go to hospitals, we'll be given things to take to our bodies, which are also wrong. And that's how the hospitals are easily born. And if you want to know who are the first people to construct the what? The hospitals, go to the verse that Pastor read in Exodus chapter what? 15. Is it true? Yes, go there. We need to finish this one very fast. Go there in Exodus 15, and he read which verse? It needs to be repeated. You know me, I'm concluding what the others have said. And said what? Are you there in verse 26?
Yes, it says, and said, if thou wilt diligently hearken to the voice of the Lord thy God, and will do that which is right in his sight,
yes,
I will give ear to his commandments, and keep all his statutes. I will put none of these diseases upon thee, which I have brought upon the Egyptians, for I am the Lord that healeth thee.
Thank you so much. He has promised if we keep the statutes. If you want to know, I left where we were struggling with the word statutes. Don't forget to come tomorrow. There is a whole lesson on statutes. But let me highlight here. Before that verse comes, up there, the water has become what? Bitter, right? What Moses did was to take something like a twig and threw to the water, isn't it? What he did was a statute. Was a law of nature, a principle in nature. So when we are talking about statutes, we are talking about things that God created, that we should understand them so well so that we don't get sick. And if we understand the God's creation so well, we understand these herbs, we understand these spices, we understand these vegetables, we understand these grains, we understand these seeds, we understand these nuts, then, believe you me, sooner or later you'll be eating right. And if you eat right, just as God said, this bread, this not only bread can make me what? Live. He was able to understand the scriptures right. He was able to understand the scriptures right, because he told Satan, it is written. And then he was able to worship. People of God, why we visit hospitals is because of nothing else. We eat wrong. We read the scriptures wrong. And then we worship wrong. It will be hard. Also, it hits me hard. But I have come to accept so that God can help me. Okay? When we start understanding these things, no wonder the teacher who was here before I came, he has taught the 7 principles. And when he was teaching those 7 principles, there is a principle number what? It was principle number. Which principle were you able to get and you felt, that principle? Let me use one. Combination. Food combination. Food combination. Let me show you how the devil has played with that. He wants you to visit his hospitals, because those are not our hospitals. Are you getting me? Let me tell you, when you're taking that Panadol, I know you have ever had that topic, but I want to just mention, go and do your own research. When you're taking that what? When you're taking that what? When you're taking that paracetamol, when you're giving this kid cold cup and all that, takataka zenye huwa tunapea watoto wetu. Believe you me, that is not godly. That's not our food. Those are magicians. Those are things made by magicians and sorcerers, and call them. Why? Because that's not food. Is that food? Let me give you a verse so that, let me it very fast so that, oh my, hiyo fungu imeenda wapi? Because I really need to try and catch up with this so that it may be easy and good. When it comes, I will go back. But when we are giving our children those things, can they match our statutes? Are they statutes? God's people, are those part of natural principles? That Panadol, do you know what it's made for? Made of? And whose food is that? I'm looking for these scriptures that says, I have gotten it. Proverbs chapter 17 verse 22. Can you read for me that one? I see whether I'll catch with this, because about medicines, the Bible has talked about medicines and has talked about the Egyptians who are the author of hospitals and the funny things, because the diseases had disturbed them so much and they felt they cannot continue. They needed to discover their own things. Yes. Go ahead. A joyful heart is good what? Is good medicine, but a broken spirit dries up the what? The bones. Let me ask. The teacher who was before me told you stress is under which category? It is under expansion or contraction? Contraction, isn't it? I'm checking whether you followed the class. If your body contracts, what will happen to your bones? Let me tell you how stress is easily born and how you find. From that particular verse, you'll visit the hospital. Because you are eating wrong. Because you are eating what? Wrong. Wrong combination. The law of nature, by God's grace, these false prophets, let me first of all go back to false prophets and false Christ. When we went to school, elder, you were taught what? What were you taught? How are you supposed to eat? Balanced diet. Balanced diet is equals to what and what? Protein, carbohydrates, and vitamins. So when we are preparing food, and they really took care that that lesson was taught between class 1 and class 8. Well taught, isn't it? Do you remember me when I went to high school? Sikusikia hiyo lesson tena. Sikuisikia, lakini maybe biology kidogo tunapofanya test ya starch. Si ni kweli? But from there, but it was well taught. Even mwalimu angechora. Si ni kweli? Tupande sasa. Let's go and study the word of God. Hiyo mafundisho ni ya Wakaldayo. Ni ya Wakaldayo? Wacha tuulize ya Biblia sasa. Ya Biblia it won't hold water. Because even the children of Israel themselves, when they were told to eat the Passover, they ate what and what? Bitter herbs and what? They are good. And there was even meat, isn't it? Yes, but it was eaten how? Open your eyes. It was eaten bitter herbs and meat, isn't it? Even when there was leavened bread, we don't hear there was maharage, there were seeds. There was only unleavened bread, and there was what? There was some hin, a drink, a wine. Get the combination, because if we go combination wrong, and that's why the teacher is telling you, don't miss tomorrow's demo. If you miss tomorrow's demonstrations, you may never get another chance of this. To get the right food combinations. Because the devil knows very well he has destroyed the combination. So what he is doing, he has prepared hospitals for you. How has he prepared hospitals for us? He knows you are eating wrong. After all, he taught it in class. Let me tell you. If we scientifically take the vegetables to the what? To the lab. Are we going to find this starch? Malab technician mlikataa kuja kunisaidia. Will we find starch in greens? Will we find protein? Will we find vitamins? Don't you see the lie we are in? False prophets, false Christs. And then he has really helped us after we have been cheated. Even we Adventists, and we are the people who should be the good Samaritans. Are you getting me? Our fellow guys, they are injured. And we, who at least have this, we are becoming the injured. And now we are going to source the Gentiles, your sisters. We are there lying, dying after being beaten by the dogs. Let me tell you, it's a serious problem, and you will not find it being taught anywhere. Remember my people, wrong food combination. Let me go to one principle of alkalinity and acidity. I show you how we visit hospital easily. We eat rice. We eat what? We eat maharage, right? Then vegetable hata huwa hatuleti. Na tukizileta, they are cooked. Now, this maharage, you may think haina starch. Iko na nini? Na starch. Utaona vile ulcers inazaliwa saa hii. Ukienda mtu ambaye ana ulcers, takusaidia mkono tufanye demo na wewe. Mtu ana ulcers, H. pylori, si ujilete hapa. Ubaya hamwezi. Ukijitolea, we will treat you for free. Haya, fikirieni, but time is short. When you do maharage and rice, it raises that two foods that are raising acidity. That will raise what? Acidity. When they raise acidity in your body, unaanza kusikia gas, okay? Unasikia tumbo kama imefura-fura. Unashindwa ni nini hii nilikula? But the acidity has gone high because mwili pia ina acid itaongeza. Si ni kweli? So at the end of the day, when the acidity goes high, through the law of statute, the law of what? I will not define that so that you come tomorrow and get it better. What happens is, the body mechanism, it should use calcium. It should use what? To pour izime hii moto ya acidity, or else you die. Or else you? So inaenda, because the body is fearfully and wonderfully made. Inaenda inauliza the skeletal system. Guys, huyu jamaa wetu huko kwa tumbo umeharibika, ni maasidi tupu iko tu. Tukopesheni calcium. Tukopesheni nini? Tutarudisha. Tutafanya nini? Inapewa. Inafanya nini? Inapewa. Inaenda kuzima moto. Wale wako hapa na munatumia madawa ya ulcers, it's highly on calcium. Iyo kiuchi ama iyo magnesium, it's highly on calcium. And then leave alone that, si imekopeshwa, miaka si inasonga, umempea huyu mtoto maziwa ng'ombe. Maziwa nani? Na yeye si ng'ombe. Ukampea, it is an acidic component. Kwa sababu ng'ombe akitengeneza maziwa yake, kwa sababu these written scriptures have no room here, you can't understand that maziwa ya ng'ombe ni ya mtoto ng'ombe. Unaenda unaomba hiyo maziwa, unampea mtoto wako, kwa sababu the false prophets and the false Christ taught you that maziwa iko na haika pitea. Even the law of nature cannot keep that. The statutes can't. No wonder. If you can't be able, you know the children of Israel, ukisoma hiyo verse, ili kabla afike, anapoweka 10 commandments, keep all his statutes. Ukianza hapo, the part B of verse 25, there he made a statute. And the ordinances, hata hatujaanza kuongea kuhusu ordinances. There are statutes, there are ordinances, there is 10 commandments. If you can't keep the statutes, do you think you are keeping the 10 commandments? Let's ask ourselves, are we really keeping the 10 commandments? If the law of nature alone can't be kept, do you know that's why God wanted to teach these guys something? He allowed the water to be bitter because God was going to have a very tough time educating these guys who were used to eat the meal of Egyptians. And at some point, the meals they had eaten, God had to use a very serious lesson. First, he provided them with the bread. He provided them with what? Don't forget, our lesson is bread, eating and what? Eating and what? And they have just crossed. They are there the third day. The water is, God first of all brings water. You people, you even eat maharage hata hamjakunywa maji. You know God was very orderly. He first of all introduced what? Water. And before he allows them to take it, he wants them to learn something. He wants them to learn something. He wants to teach them the law of nature. He wants to teach them the law of nature. And that's why even us, the law of nature has gone far away from us that we hardly understand. Our God, who is our creator, we cannot comprehend him because of the lie written in Matthew 24:20. And let me tell you, don't joke with this lie. We read it, and sometimes if we don't start it with our health, we go wrong. God himself struggles with the children of Israel, trying to help their second brain so that they may understand his statutes, his commandments, and his ordinances. Not only that, it even made him clear a whole generation, only to be left with those guys who are eating the bread from her. Let me tell you, guys, you are joking with these at the times. It is going to be tough, not yet even tough. Let me give you a quotation I find loitering with the WHO, who keeps telling us 75% of the people in the world are those who are sick. Those who wanameza matembe kila siku. Wanaweza matembe ya hao majamaa na wanaenda shughuli zao. Labda uko hapa unameza tembe ya high blood pressure, unameza tembe ya diabetes. Hizo matembe sikwambii uache. But come to Jesus Christ, he will help you quit. Because the false prophets had told you, the moment you begin taking the high blood pressure medicine, no quitting. Huyo ni nani amekutabilia hivyo? Ukiquit si unakufa. Ukiquit dawa ya diabetes si utakufa. Si ni ukweli? Lakini unajua false prophet alikuandaa kuja kukunywa hiyo dawa miaka gani? Ukiwa nursery school, hata kabla hujazaliwa, alikuanzisha ukiwa tumbo ya mama yako. Tayari mama yako alikuwa tayari amesha ingia kwa chakula yake. Kwa hivyo he has authority to prophesy. If you are taking the high blood pressure drugs, you have to take them till you die. This is how our hospitals are born. And I will say that it's only by God's grace, in the times we are living in, when the WHO has audacity to say 75% of the total population in the world are the ones that are taking drugs, it is true. They are taking them, going to their funny jobs. Alafu, there, 20%, that is 75. Tumebakisha na ngapi? 25. The 20 are bedridden. Ndio unapata kwa mahospitali, ndio unapata manyumbani wamelala. Alafu anakueleza 5% in the whole world are the healthy. And that 5%, they define them so well. The children, the young people before 25 years. I'll tell you why they even quote the years before 25 years. Why they quote that number. That is the world. That is WHO. They know very well what we who are calling them Adventists. Second, we are the second. Are you a Christian or an Adventist, by the way? Hey. Are you a Christian or Adventist? Adventist Christian. hata Muisraeli akiwa jangwani akisema mimi ni Muisraeli Egypt. Si unakumbuka walifanya hivyo? Waliambia Musa turudishe na huku bwana. Kule tulikuwa tunapata watermelon. Si kweli? Yeah, the diet was a bone of contention even in the salvation of children of Israel. It was a bone of contention in Eden. Was the bone of contention in the guys called Meshach. There was this Daniel, Ananiah, Mishael, and who? It was still a bone of contention, right? And what about Jesus? Was it something to be minded of? Yes. Before he started his ministry, a diet is coming again across him. And for him to read right, to read what? He had to pass that test. So that now he can be able to quote the scriptures correctly. After all, the devil had also quoted the scriptures. Do you see the problem we are in? Yes, hata sisi tuacha to quote scriptures to support mahospitali ambayo hatujajua ama ni ya false prophet ama ni ya false what? Christ hatujui, hata mimi sijui. Hata saa hii mimi msiniulize ama ni false prophet wenye hayo mahospitali ama ni nani. But we will see. My lesson is about to come to an end. But I'm asking you. Do you think even this generation of Adventism, even this generation of what? Me, I'm an Adventist. I'm not a Christian. I'm an Adventist. Define. I was a Christian before. But now I'm a what? I'm an Adventist. Go think about it. Go think about it. Do you know how many Christians we are in the world? I think Kenya, who are leading, the Christian or the Muslims and Hindus. We are the Christians. We are the Christians. And do you think you are also a Christian? If you want to distinguish yourself with the other Christian who are pitana ndio wanachapwa mabuduki na huku na James na nani, own yourself. I'm a person who is waiting the second coming of Jesus Christ. Say you are an Adventist and you will sail through the false Christ and the false what? Prophets. Let me ask. Do you think, now let me pose the question. Do you think in this generation, then, the last generation on earth, the Adventists who are in this church today, do you think the food we eat matters when it comes to worship of God? Do you think understanding food that can expand and food that can contract is important? Do you think understanding the acidic foods and alkalinity foods is important? Do you think understanding the uniqueness of food is important? Do you think understanding cleansing, how food can cleanse your body is important? Do you think proper food combination is what they understand? Do you think 80-20 principle is important not to only understand but to practice? Do you think step by step is the only way we can move from dead food to living food? Let me finish by the 7 principles of our hospitals, okay? And then I call it a lesson. I leave this platform. After all, hii masomo haisomagwi siku moja, sawa sawa. We have conventional medicine and alternative medicine. These are the only 2 guys in the whole world. They keep fighting. They keep what? Fighting. They keep fighting. Na hawa wakionekana wanajua sana, wanagongwa vichwa, wanaambiwa nyinyi mnaongea nini? Nyinyi mnaongea nini? After all, hata sisi hatufai tunafaa kuongea Bible and Bible alone. If you go to the Bible, mnauliza chapati tutapika aje? The recipe is in the scriptures, isn't it? There's so much recipe there. Then first thing you should know, I'm going to compare. I've just gotten 7 of them. 1, what do the conventional people, medicine, believe when it comes to mind, body and spirit? What do the conventional guys think, and what do the alternative medicine think? Remember, the alternative medicine guys, they are those guys who only basically say and stand that food should treat you. Food should do what? Treat you. Herbs should treat you. And even the scriptures have supported that our food should be the things that will be our medicine. Only that time has, but those verses I have them. What do they say? Conventional medicine say this. They separate entity. They separate what? Ikiwa uko mgonjwa wa kichwa, tunakupeleka Mathare, tunakupea dawa ya kichwa. Sawa sawa? Ikiwa ni heart kagonjwa, tunapea hiyo. But the alternative guys reason this way. What you should take should unify your cognitiveness and your body. Okay? Yes, they should do what? Unify. The other principle is they believe, the conventionals, when we come to consider human as what? The conventional believe a human being should be a machine. And the alternative guys believe is a microcosmic. Is someone who dominates this earth. Okay? And so the earth should give its own to treat him. Number 3, when we have diseases are due to, the conventional would say the diseases are due to infection and organ defect. And organ what? Defect. But alternative medicine will tell us diseases are due to system imbalance. System in what? For example, I have eaten wrong. Do you think I will think right? Nimekunywa pombe. Si nitakuja nikilewa nikiongea kile nataka? Yes, the alternative guys think if diseases is due to system imbalance. Number 4, roles of medicines. Roles of what? Medicine. In conventional we'll say the role of medicine is to fight infection, combat disease by suppressing symptoms. By suppressing what? Symptoms. But alternative will tell us role of medicine is to restore a harmony which makes the whole body work. Number 5, treatment focus. When it comes to treatment focus, the guys will tell us treatment focus, it's a matter, part of organ. But these other guys will tell us the alternative, the treatment focus should be energy holistic. Your body energy to be what? Holistic. They will also tell us that treatment is correct. The part is to correct. The conventional will say, if I give you the which dawa is this? The high blood pressure dawa, it should correct damu iache kukimbia. Sawa sawa? Ili usigonjeke, usikufe na stroke ama nini. They will tell it should correct that. But the alternative guys will tell you their treatment should promote self-healing. Number 6, primary interventions. They will use drugs or surgery. Those are our friends who are conventionalists, okay? They will use what? They will use primary drugs and what? Surgery. But the other friends will tell you, the alternative guys will tell you, the primary intervention is diet, exercise, herbs medicine, and all that. Finally, treatment purpose. Why do you think they will treat you? They treat Their treatment purpose is because you are sick. Okay? Yes, you are sick. But the other guys will tell you, we treat to restore total health care. May God bless you. Write your questions down. Tomorrow there will be a time for answering what? Go think. Write a list of them. Bring them here tomorrow.
We want to thank you for listening to that on 3 hours presentation. It isn't easy. It isn't easy. And I know some of these things are challenging our thinking. And we need more. We will need more of training or learning. The spiritual prophet says that the latter days, health reform, many people will put it down and uplift the other one. And she also go ahead to say, in the third age's message, health message is a serious one to be considered. I don't want to teach that. I want to wish you a good night and tell you tomorrow by 8 we'll be settled. We are coming from far, but we'll be here settled. We will come free with equipment. We will come free with food. We will come free with the supplements if you need the supplements. We will come free with all the answers and with practicability. Today it was a lot of theory because Sabbath. Tomorrow we are going to say no theory. To be what? Practicals. It is damn expensive for us to teach this. It have taken us a lot of money, a lot of research. And for us to teach this, we pay, you pay. We charge. We are all professionals in different ways. But for Kariobangi, we said no. We are coming with our equipment, with our everything at no cost, only your time. You may think I'm joking, but meet me somewhere else when I'm charging. When you have a sick person who is on the deathbed, and you come to me, I will repatriate that, but I will charge you because you have said no to the right principle. I will give you supplement, all that. I'll do it well. Your patient will be healed, but you are going to pay and pay well. After all, so we are teaching people who are healthy, so as you go help other people at no cost. Okay? But please, let's meet this morning by 8. If you can't make it at 8, please stay at home. There are people who come to bother others, come at 10, and they want to ask a question that was answered by 8. So you keep on mark timing. If you can't make it, we understand people are busy, aren't we? We understand that, and we understand also you are busy. So if you won't make it by 8, please don't come. Don't. We'll be here from 8 to 5. And tomorrow is a Sunday. Hakuna grace nyingi, tutakuwa wakali. If you have to bleach, heri tufunze 5 na washike kuliko kuwa na 100 na hakuna pale tunawapeleka. Sawa sawa? Yes. Nimesimama hapa tu kutoa hiyo announcement kwa sababu kuna watu, I know there are people who are jokers. Then I have realized something I want to rectify. Sabbath is over. Sabbath is over. I want to rectify this. Kariobangi, tafadhali change this. Change this. I'm a member of this by default, but change this.